Development on Shadow of the Colossus began in 2002 under the super secret project name Nico. Not that one, which was a portmanteau of Next Eco, as well as the fact that Ni in Japanese means two. Get it? An early tech demo showed off at DICE Summit in 2003 showed a group of masked horned boys riding horses and defeating a Colossus, and the game was originally intended to be an MMO, believe it or not. However, lead game designer Fumito Ueda never really wanted a direct sequel, and stated that at the time it was just easier to reuse the character design from Eco for the concept video. Now, as far as the MMO went, Team Eco felt that it was an impractical venture relative to their skills, size, and experience at the time, so that idea was ultimately scrapped. Ueda and fellow producer Kenji Kaito held a ridiculously high standard to their development team, which contained an outstanding 35 individuals. They challenged their programmers to give as much realistic movement between Wander and the Colossus as much as they could, from how Wander would move when in relation to the Colossi to how the player could use that particular movement to their advantage. See Sword Jump in Colossus 3 for more details. Gaius! And much like Eco, Shadow of the Colossus uses a variety of devices to achieving its uniquely somber and desolate environments, from a distinct form of bloom lighting, desaturating colors, and an extensive use of motion blur. For example, the use of Wander's sword as a means to both navigate and light up the dark setting of the Forbidden Land was absolutely brilliant. And speaking of navigation, a key element of exploration was through the use of your steed aggro. And similar to the themes of relationship that were prevalent throughout Eco with the character of Yorda, Ueda wanted to put emphasis on having a companion to accompany you throughout the harsh surroundings of the Forbidden Land. Which for the most part it succeeds. Does it? Well, that's a story for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Allison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you back to Shadow of the Colossus. Last time we took out the first Colossus, the Minotaur Valis, and in this episode, now on hard mode, we'll be taking out Quadratus. Now, because we're slightly overpowered due to our absurd amount of stamina and the fact that we have all of the weapons, which are different on hard than they are on normal, we'll be starting off by using one of the more unfortunately useless items, the Sword of the Sun. And, now, if you compare it to our trusty ancient sword right here, well, it looks a little bit more intimidating, does it not? But it's also noticeably weaker. And like I said in the last part, the ancient sword gets more powerful with the more stamina you have. Which means that because we have so much fortitude at our disposal, we could probably get this particular weapon out of the way early. The only thing it really has going for it is when you raise your sword to gather light, it'll show you where you need to go, regardless of whether there is light to gather or not. And this particularly unique trait of the sword I found to be fairly ironic, all things considered, because you don't really need it, and you can only get this after you've beaten the game. But, now, there's where Quadratus is. He resides just north of the shrine, and is technically the closest to it as well. However, this still kind of serves as a bit of a tutorial, and not one of the better ones overall. It shares some similarities to the other Colossi we'll be dealing with in the future, such as being a quadruped and having aggro, follow you into the fight. But this one is kind of unique in the sense that, along with Wander and Gaius, the third Colossus, actually has some downloadable costumes in Little Big Planet, which is freaking awesome, and I bought. But, yeah, we can just make our way over there, because with that having been said and done, as we're being awesome horsemen, I suppose. And now we have the awesome music playing. Now, if you'd like to take a little bit of a shortcut, you can actually jump off the edge here and land right in front of where Quadratus will make his fabulous entrance. But unless you have a lot of health like I do, or the Cloth of Desperation, I wouldn't particularly recommend it. But, I guess we can just follow the path as the game would intend us to do so. Because down here, I guess I'll just demonstrate this while we're here. When you attempt to gather light, it only works when there's sun for it to gather, and well, we have no light in your bright blue eyes. When we switch to the Sword of Sun, well, there we go. Even in complete darkness, that's literally all it does. It's cool how the sword kind of physically resembles the swords in Eco, but I digress. I never knew daylight could be so violent. A revelation in the light of day. But that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our second Colossus. here we have Quadratus, the Taurus Colossus. While not particularly formidable, he stands as the second tallest Colossus in the game, which when compared to the tallest is not even half his size. And since we're playing on hard, he'll have an additional sigil on his left side, and what you want to do is get him on his hind legs by staying in front of him and shoot an arrow on the underside of his hooves. Now you want to get one on his left side here so you can reach his weak point when he collapses. There we go. So once we've pierced it, he'll fall over on that one side, and then you'll be able to climb up here and reach his weak point. Now, it's a little bit easier on time attack mode, which on normal you have to beat him in under 4 minutes, and on hard you have to beat him in under 4.5 minutes. And it's easier because you always start in the same place, but here we were at a little bit of a different one. But you have this platform just in case, you want to stand your ground for some more stamina. I like to jump to the sigil, as you can see from there, but I want to be able to, it's not letting me. Okay, never mind. We're just going to go straight for it here. We have enough stamina. Let's do it. I suck at reaching that sometimes, but, well, you can wait there before moving onwards. But with that, let's, the music, the awesome music that plays when you're climbing, you'll notice it just changes so subtly, and with that being said, there we go. Wow, that is really weak. A lot weaker than I remember, and he's going to be trying to knock us off. That's not good. Alright, he should only take 2 hits on this one part. And, there we go. Alright, so every time you defeat a sigil, they'll flash white like they just did right there as I was saying it. But that's kind of an easy way just so they can continue moving onwards without waiting for it to be completely destroyed. So let's climb up over here because the second one will actually be on his butt. And this one is actually pretty good, pretty easy to get if you can get a perfect grip on it like right there. That was perfect. Alright, so one more should do it. And so he shouldn't be able to buck you off here very easily. And there we go. Alright. So now his last one is actually on his head. And at this point, he'll try and actively knock you off when you're on his back. So you're going to want to be a little bit careful. Because, whoa, here he goes, Jump on his spine. And don't be launched forward. Oop. Okay, that was close. What's funny is if he actually does knock you off and you try and get back on, he'll actually be afraid of you, which is kind of cool, I thought. But you want to be careful on his head because this is a kind of a wonky place to try and get a perfect grip, so don't bother going for full strikes. Just do like medium ones if you can, otherwise, well, we'll just be wasting our time here. So yeah, it's kind of depressing when you see him do that, but just be a little bit cautious because there isn't very many places to wait here, but he does give you pretty prime opportunities to do this. And with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, so we vanquished the Taurus at last, but as its body being consumed by darkness, we have to get out of here. No, don't get me! So with Dorman's words forever engraved in our memories, next time on Shadow of the Colossus, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be facing off against a fan favorite, but also a heavily despised Colossus to those attempting the hard time attack trial against the sleeping giant, Gaius. My name is Alison Cruz, and, well, hope to see you guys then.